December 20th, 5:27 p.m., District Court, Courtroom number 4. Let's now reconvene. Defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has never been more ready. You know, this is the first time we've been at the defense bench together since I debuted. Now that you mention it. Although back then I thought you were more loud than you were reliable. You've really come a long way since then, Apollo. You've grown a lot. Well, there have been some hiccups, but I guess I've done pretty well. You still got that ego of his, though. That's okay. Prosecutor Blackwell. The 7-year mistake now resolved, you can finally take your rightful place. Yes, I guess we can take the chit-chat for later. But bailiff, please bring in the witness immediately. With those handcuffs of Prosecutor Blackwell seems pretty much the same. 10 years of grumpiness doesn't go away easily, I guess. There he is. Ah, Bobby Fulbright here. I was needed on the stand, so here I am. Detective Fulbright. Do you know why you've been called to give a testimony? Yep, because there's only one reason I'd be called. And that is because it's time for justice. And justice we trust.
Objection!
Can't fool us with that act anymore. Your justice is nothing but lies. What? Are you questioning the integrity of my sense of justice? I mean, sure, sometimes I make mistakes, but hey. He's acting exactly the same as always. Tell me about it. I must be feeling awfully confident. Fulbright, wish to dispel our suspicion, let's get to your testimony. Alright, fine. You want me to prove my righteousness? I can certainly do that. Okay. Embodiment of justice. I'm the very embodiment of justice itself. I won't have you make me into a villain with your far-fetched arguments. This is all about the escape route. It is only a theory. You don't have any proof. What do we have as proof that Athena Sykes is the culprit? This liar with her prints on it. So you're saying the suspicions against you are completely false. That the defendant is the real culprit. That's right. Mr. Lawyer's escape route is totally circumstantial. He doesn't have proof that I made a big leap onto a ladder. We don't have proof. You're correct about that. However, you don't have any proof for your claim either. I guess you're right. You can't define justice with evidence. Who can define it anyway? Justice... It just is.
Objection!
Don't make me break out a dictionary on you. Please don't throw the book at me. Tell me the Phantom didn't just make me set up a stupid pun for him. Let's just try not to lose focus, alright? Publicity is crystal clear. What's clear as your eyes? Wake up and smell the justice.
Silence!
He's not having your shenanigans. Enough of your rubbish, Fulbright. Do you have even an ounce of justice? You answer the court's questions and prove it. Prosecutor Blackwell. Prosecutor Blackwell looks torn. Well, Fulbright was his partner after all. Prosecutor Blackwell is right. The truth will be revealed in the cross-examination. Suspicions against Detective Fulbright are, at this point, only suspicions. As is my duty, I will judge the claims against the detective as impartially as I can. Does anyone have any objections? That's fine, Your Honor. Now ask away, no hold back. Well, there don't appear to be any objections. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please give me a cross-examination. Okay. Well, not the beginning quite, but let's start with that.
Hold it!
My arguments are hardly far-fetched. There's very careful reason behind my theory. Yes, well, apparently there's a reasoning behind a topo fucker. But we're up against Miss Sykes, though, is not just reasoning, but solid evidence. And it's called a liar, which most likes fingerprints run in the victim's blood. Yes, that's true, but wait. Detective Fulbright was the one who brought that evidence to the trial. Oh, it doesn't have the same right without the tink tink. It's kind of a shame. You should have some jingly jangles, Black Quill. It doesn't sound right without the jingly jangle. Anyway, that is completely aside from everything else, but whatever. Do you have any suspicions? Is this your eyes Fulbright's right, Donna? Especially about that lighter. He's right, but what exactly should I ask about? Well, let me look at what it says first. It just says it has prints on it. The position of prints. Please tell the court about the position of the prints on the lighter. They're around the same spot on either side, as they would be if she were holding it up. I suppose it was used to light the room. It wouldn't be held that way. Could you please add that straight into your testimony? I mean, that makes sense. Could I have that other, thing, though, please? I would like to ask you more questions about that. Thank you. About the number of prints. How many? Come on. So, how many prints were found exactly? 3. The thumb, the index finger, and the middle finger of the right hand. Your Honor, that's an important statement. Could you please have it swapped into my testimony? You got it. You beat me to it. Ha ha ha, be it investigating or testifying, speed is key. Do I, Hey, wait a minute. That doesn't make sense. They had it in their left hand, not the right. What's going on here?
Objection!
You see the prints are from her right hand, is that correct? That's right, very clear prints. But that just doesn't add up. What doesn't add up? According to Miss Blackwell, who saw the culprit herself, this person held the lighter in their left hand. Oh? So here's the dilemma before us. Why are the prints on the lighter from a right hand instead of a left? You're right, it doesn't make sense, does it? Your Honor, this lighter cannot be called incriminating evidence. Witnesses' claims don't even hold water. Detective Fulbright, I hope you have a good explanation for this. I just can't understand it. They're definitely right-hand prints. But then, why are they inconsistent with Bliss Blackwell's statement? I've got it. What have you got, Detective? The mirror. The witness must have seen the reflection of the culprit in the mirror. Go on. Miss Blackwell was looking in through the window of boarding lounge 1, wasn't she? I believe so. You mean the little window in the back and to the right of the room? That's right. Across the room on the opposite wall. There's a large mirror. I do remember seeing it. So you're saying... Yes, culprit Miss Blackwell's son must have been a reflection of the person in the mirror. I see. In that case, right and left would appear to be reversed, wouldn't they? Now do you see? There's a logic of pure justice.
Objection!
The argument is only conjecture. You don't have any proof that what Miss Blackwell saw was a reflection.
Silence!
Right, Sono, you'd sooner nick yourself than him like that. Put some more muscle into it. Huh? That's right. Besides, the lighter couldn't have been in the left hand. And why not? Miss Blackwell said she saw an Earth symbol on the lighter. Did she not? Didn't she? That symbol was only on one side of the lighter. You're right. There's no emblem on the other side. Exactly. As blank and smooth as the judge's fine scalp. If the culprit had held that lighter in their left hand, they would have covered the emblem. Uh-oh. What's more, this is the kind of lighter you flick open with your thumb before lighting. So if the culprit had held it in their left hand with the emblem out and visible, they wouldn't have been able to open it, let alone light it. But if they had held it in their right hand, they could have easily opened it and light it. This is what means that the culprit is definitely holding the lighter in their right hand. No! Come back, my beautiful contradiction! It appears you planted a flower that bears no fruit. See how it withers just for my flower of justice. He's tough, he's made to discredit almost everything I've proven up this point. It's just a sweet trust. Now do you see, I'm not this phantom you've been talking about. I mean, are you sure there really is a spy? I bet they're just a figment of your imagination. Oh, it's so sad, very sad, but I'm afraid Miss Sykes is the culprit.
Hold it!
Detective Fulbright, I believe you said the emblem is only on one side of the lighter. Are you sure about that? Of course I'm sure. Why don't you take a look for yourself and see? Do you see an Earth emblem on both sides of the lighter? Oh, Apollo. I knew it. You're lying, Detective. Pardon me? You mean... Yes, my brace react to his statement about the emblem. He's definitely hiding something big. And I think because my talent, I might be able to figure it out. Just don't know why you use that cheat of yours again. It's not cheating, Prosecutor Blackwell. Very well. Whether I like it or not, I suppose we should use whatever works right now. Go on, then. We have Prosecutor Blackwell's reluctant blessing, apparently. Okay, Apollo, you're up. Here goes, then. Detective Fulbright, you repeat that last statement one more time. What in the world are you up to? Alright, fine. I'll say as many times as you like. Listen carefully. The Earth emblem is only on the side that you can see when held in the right hand. Nothing on the face. I could see his hands. Hands, I guess. Oh! Hey! Alright, you're scratching your hands. Yeah, you're scratching your hands. Or, you're fiddling with your hand. I sees it. Repeat your statement already. Hurry up. I should've just went for it, but like, I wasn't sure if he maybe just doing that. I don't know. Say it again. Yeah, you're twitching your thumb or itching your hand or something.
Gotcha!
Gotcha! Detective Fulbright, you may not be aware of it yourself, but whenever you say the phrase the Earth emblem, your left thumb moves. In fact, it appears that those you're running along the edge of your holster. Mr. Lawyer, I don't have the foggiest notion what you're talking about. Be that as may, I know something has to do with the lighter. Let me examine it. But why? You're not making any sense. You can't just...
Silence!
Be still and do as you're told, Fulbright. If you have nothing to hide, then you shouldn't mind them having a look-see, should you? What? Not you two, Prosecutor Blackwell. I'm not sure what this is all about, but the Busker Blackwell insists. Maybe something important. I will allow the defense to examine the lighter. Good. Maybe we'll learn something new. I hope so. I'll check right into this thing. The top? I don't see anything unusual about the top of the lid. The Tillbite's words were definitely hiding something. Let's look for something that has to do with what he said. The Earth Emblem. This is the Earth Emblem Detective Tillbite was talking about. Is anything noteworthy? Huh? Hey, look at this. The emblem is actually some kind of button. Oh. Wow, it transformed into something. A handle, a trigger. Is this what I think it is? There's no questions, it seems. What you have there is a gun. What? A gun. So that's it. Your Honor, please recall this morning's trial when Detective Cosmos was on the stand. The bullet that hit the oxygen tank was extremely small, maybe a 10 caliber. This little Convecton probably takes bullet of that caliber. Looks like this is the gun that was fired at the scene. I'm flabbergasted. The lighter was a gun. Detective Fulbright would touch his holster. That's right, whenever he mentioned the Earth Emblem, he must have unconsciously thought of the secret behind the lighter. In other words, he knew it was a gun from the very beginning. A lighter that transformed into a gun seems like a spy gadget to me. Not the kind of thing any ordinary person can get their hands on. In fact, I'd say it's strictly in the domain of elite spies. Detective Fulbright, you will explain yourself. There's nothing for me to explain. I don't know the lighter could transform. I mean, it was found at the Space Museum, and then I brought it straight in. I didn't even have time to check it out.
Objection!
Whenever you mentioned the Earth Emblem, you touched your holster. You suddenly did that because you knew it was a gun. Excuse me all you want, but where's your proof? You have any evidence that I knew the lighter was a gun? Not exactly. Anyway, prints are on it. Miss Sykes' prints. Proves she's the culprit who fired the gun at the scene. It would appear the detective is right. Are you guys trying to put your client innocent or what? Although it pains me to do this, now that we're where we are, I have to make the following assertions coming from the prosecution side. The person who fired the gun at Director Cosmos in the lounge after the incident. And the person Miss Blackwell saw holding the lighter. And the person who murdered Mr. Turan. And the person who bombed the Space Center. All the defendant, Athena Sykes. The prints and the lighter are decisive proof. No. Now do you see? Everyone on the side of justice can possibly be the culprit. I think that's about sums up Miss Sykes' part in the whole affair. The evidence certainly does seem to point to the defendant's guilt. Anything to say, Prosecutor Blackwell? Evidence says everything in court. Therefore, Fulbright's claims stand firm. But calm down, Apollo. He's just saying that because he has to as the prosecutor. So, lawyer, our job is to pursue criminals in the name of justice. You don't cast suspicion on people based on something as dubious as a habit. In fact, you have a bad habit of showing up in court with an awful case of bad hair.
Objection!
This is the man who wears sunglasses at night. It's proof you want, it's proof you'll get. I'll prove this lighter is not Miss Sykes, but yours. Sounds like you've hit on something, Apollo. Just the prints on the lighter are basis for accusing Athena. I think we should reconsider the credibility of the evidence itself. I mean, this lighter might be forged evidence. That's right. It can all be part of Fulbright's bigger plot. You do anything out of the ordinary while I was off on my own. I can definitely think of a few things. Yes, indeed. Have a look at this. what's this? A lighter. Detective, we'd like to run a comparison on some prints we found in the boarding lounge. Ah, yes, I just happen to have compiled the print data of everyone related to this case. I'll always make another copy for myself, so it's all yours. Consider it a gift. We assume he's been laying a big trap for us all along. There's gotta be something off about this piece of evidence. What's wrong with the lighter as a piece of evidence? How the prints were left on it. No, I guess I don't see anything. Alright, fine, then. And the news about the angle of the prints or how patchy they're in places, but... where the prints are on it? Anything odd about where the prints are? No, I guess if it was fired as a gun... it's about where the prints would be, but... you don't know the prints then, fine! Are they really Athena's fingerprints? They definitely matched her print data. But what about the data itself? Dr. Fulbright, you're the one who provided us with the lighter and the print data. Isn't that correct? Yes, what about it? Miss Lake's prints match the print data. But I have to wonder, was the data used official? Mr. Wright, are you suggesting the evidence might have been fabricated? There's only one way to find out. Let's re-examine the prints. Using the official sanctioned print data of people involved in this case. What? You dare insult the epitome of justice and integrity. There's only for your antics.
Silence.
Your Honor, I lend my voice to defend his request. He was allowed the test to be rerun. Very well then. Bailiff. Ah, it appears that the official data is here. The results? It's... just as the defense claims. It's proved that the prints on the lighter do not belong to the defendant. Yes. The fingerprints actually belong to the victim, Mr. Turan. What? That makes even less sense. They replaced fingerprints on the lighter. Ah, I see. Come to think of it. Wasn't it you, Fulbright, who collected the victim's prints? Personally removed his glove during the investigation. Way to get his fingerprints to confirm his identity after all. He took the deceased's fingerprints. He could have easily planted his prints on the lighter with his blood, after which he wiped the blood off his hand. By your own admission, you were also the one who compiled the phony print data. All but the blame of Miss Sykes. This point must have been to distract us from the Phantom who was behind everything. You have to create the impression that the Phantom wasn't the true culprit. So what does this mean? Detective Fulbright really is the Phantom. Remember the killer's escape route. The ordinary person would have been fearless enough to attempt it. Nobody but the Phantom, the man with no emotions, could have done it. Detective Fulbright, you were the only one who could have used that escape route. Fulbright, are you really the Phantom? Answer me, or else I'll slash you to tiny slivers where you stand. Alright, don't talk. I confess. I'm not the Phantom.
Silence.
It's all over. I'll be a man and admit it already. But I'm not a spy. I'm an undercover investigator. I've actually been after the Phantom myself. Under the cover investigator. That sounds less than wholesome to me. Person who hides his identity and secretly investigates in order to uncover information. That's what you really are, Fulbright. That's right. I was working to track down the Phantom, but sadly, even though I was supposed to catch the spy ended up catching me. He took my family hostage and forced me to cooperate with them. What?
Objection!
You're telling us this now, but if you say it's true, then who is the mysterious person Miss Blackwell Mr. Starbuck saw? It was the Phantom, I tell you. All I did was help him by having that emergency ladder lowered for him.
Objection!
I don't believe you. How do you explain the fabricated lighter? That was also one of the Phantom's demands. Being a detective in charge of the case, it was easy for me to fabricate evidence. Being the crime Athena liked was another of the Phantom's orders. You tell you buy that? Fulbright, what was the Phantom's ultimate objective? I told it was to sabotage the rocket launch. Someone who didn't want the launch to happen must have given the order. Actually, I have to apologize to you too. The Phantom told me to get you close to you. You ordered me to get back to that psych profile you have on him. So he sent a buzzard of his own to tell me this past year, did he? I haven't been a champion of justice. I've just been a pawn of evil. The pawn of the Phantom who stole the moon rock and killed Dr. Sykes 7 years ago. Enough, Fulbright. Just tell us the Phantom's true identity. I don't know. He was very careful to hide it. He has top secret information for all kinds of corporations and countries. So there's a number of organizations that want him dead. If people believed I was the Phantom, I could be killed on the spot. Why, I didn't even know. There are assassins lurking nearby. This case is about the Phantom after all. The ceiling blown off. I suppose you are vulnerable to sniper shot in this courtroom. Just 2 seconds ago, Fulbright was treating Athena like a criminal. Does he really think he's gonna lie his way out of it now? On the surface, everything does seem to make sense. This could be bad, Mr. Wright, if we can't find the flaw in his logic. He's right, after we come all this way, we can't have Fulbright wiggle free now. I finally told the truth. I hope you see how foolish it was to think I was the Phantom. Serious? You're an intelligent man, Prosecutor Blackwell. You believe me, right? I believe you. I don't think you're the Phantom. What? How can you say that, Prosecutor Blackwell? It's obvious he's the Phantom.
Silence!
Evidence is everything, right, Dono? You must admit there's no clear evidence that Fulbright is the Phantom. Yes, I recall the only solid proof we've seen up to this point is the fact that it took the Fulbright to fabricate evidence. But I've known Fulbright here for a year now. All this time he's been quite intent on rehabilitating me. I don't believe his efforts were a lie. But Prosecutor Blackwell, this fool truly thought he could reform a death row inmate like me. He went out of his way into his efforts for me. He actually became quite a nuisance, really. Prosecutor Blackwell, you believe me? Please tell me Prosecutor Blackwell hasn't really been taken in by this big phony. However, even if it was against her will, you selected as the Phantom's accomplice. You have to pay the price for that. Throw yourself at my mercy, and don't you ever betray me again. You got that? Yes. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Such a bond of trust is such a very beautiful thing. In any case, this looks like everything has been resolved. I can now hand down a not guilty verdict with confidence. Very good. I'm very glad to hear it. It's all over. Everything's been cleared up. Miss Sykes will go free as well. It's right. We can't let the trial end here. If we do, the Phantom, the man who killed Clay, will get away. I know, but... so what do I do? I don't have any proof Detective Fulbright is the Phantom. Is this it? Is he gonna get away just like that? No, if you'll excuse me, my investigation awaits. With that... I'm off. Who's holding it now? Athena. Hello. The defense... No, wait. Not the defense. The defendant feels it's not time for a verdict yet, and would like to see this trial continue. What? But I would just declare you innocent of all charges. It just doesn't feel right to be standing here. Hey, Apollo, think you could scooch over? Two people, yeah! Athena, what are you doing? We don't get held in contempt of court. I have some questions for you, Detective Fulbright. Are you relieved that you are no longer in suspicion of being the Phantom? Are you grateful to Prosecutor Blackwell for what he's done to you? Or for you? Of course I am, and I'm truly grateful from the bottom of my heart. Athena, where are you going with these questions? You have to hear a single emotion behind any Detective Fulbright's words, boss. Suspicion against him has been cleared up, but he's not feeling happy at all. What does that mean? I may not have any evidence, but the heart doesn't lie. That's it. With your special ability, you might be able to stop him. Your Honor, the detective has been deeply traumatized by our accusations. Yes, well... Mixed for all this, I thought he was a rather odd fellow. He doesn't get counseling right away. Who knows what happened to him? Hehehe, ho ho, Prosecutor Blackwell, can you believe the nonsense the defense is spouting? Fulbright, I think you'd better have that counseling. Not you two. You've been making a bed of your marks ever since you were accused of being the Phantom. Such as you're an undercover investigator, and your family has been taken hostage. I fear you might have finally lost it. But I thought you believed me.
Silence.
Oh, how you amuse me so. What's going on here? That was an excellent bit of psychological manipulation now, Simon. I knew we would catch on, Athena. When filling me in here? Guess we left you in the dust, huh, Mr. Wright? Simon was only pretending to believe Detective Fulbright, because he knew I'd noticed if there was a lack of emotions like joy or relief in his response. So he gave me the chance to take a listen. And listen I did to the voice Detective Fulbright's heart. What? You two working together just now? Come now, Athena. Show us what's inside Fulbright's heart. You got it. Now check the instant replay. Bridget, enemy, let's do this. That was a clean guess. I have no idea, but it's fine. If you say something with conviction, it's not wrong, okay? Thank you for believing me, Prosecutor Blackwell. Nothing. I was a micro investigator, but the Phantom was coercing me. Nothing. You sold the moon rock and killed Dr. Sykes 7 years ago. Nothing. I'm a bad person for cooperating with such a man. Nothing. He took me a family hostage. What else could I do? Nothing. Even with all his over-the-top expressions and gestures, he's registering no emotion at all. Just like I thought, and right in line with the Phantom Psych profile. Detective Fulbright, this lack of emotion proves you're the Phantom. What? What are you doing? Hey, what's going on? Hey, wait, hold it. What do you think you're doing, Detective? Are you hacking into me? I'm not doing anything. I'm trying to hack in the Moon Makers program. I can't do anything with it like this. Ah! Fancy device you have there, but I'll tolerate no cheating, thank you. Sorry about that. As a cover agent, I tend to use my secret orders without even thinking. More like as a spy. Thanks, Prosecutor Blackwell. There, now you can't hack me anymore. Dare you try to hide your lack of emotions from us. Lack of emotion? What are you talking about? Of course I have feelings. As a matter of fact, you wouldn't be very deep with that accusation. What's going on? All of a sudden I'm getting a rolling happy reading. Huh? But he's literally flying a river over here. Oops, my mistake. How about this? Gah! Like, somebody's angry all of a sudden. What's he trying to pull? Like has noted, her offering is not complete without emotion. Just as it says in Dr. Seg's profile of the Phantom. Zedek has a unique psychological makeup with almost no emotional fluctuation. Oh, I get it. So he has some emotions, right? Precisely, which means to wonder why you can't sense emotions from it at all. I believe it's most likely because he is controlling his emotions. Very good, Prosecutor Blackwell, you are correct. It's the result of my daily training. Very important skill for us underground investigators, you know. More like for spies, seriously. But I wonder why he suddenly showed several strong emotions. Wait a minute. I think I know. I think there's a feeling you're trying to hide within your exaggeration emotions, Detective. A feeling I'm trying to hide, that's a good one. You're the ones who've been saying I'm the Phantom because I don't have any emotions. I'm trying to show you the range of emotions I truly possess. Then you have no objection to me analyzing you, right? No, analyze away. But I'll say it again, I'm not the Phantom. And be forewarned that your analysis will have no effect. As you're about to see what an undercover agent can really do. They're all over the place. Hold on. Be the Phantom, no way. Oh, see, I'm very sad. See, I told you I have emotions. I thought you accused me of being someone who would kill over a moon rock. I do regret being the Phantom, of course. But I'm so glad to take this whole administrative cleared up now. I don't even know where to start here. Right there. A big happy. Maybe it's this. I don't think so. Never seen a person in such a chaotic emotional state. There must be something here. I just know it. Might be a long shot, but there really is a real emotion mixed in here somewhere. And it's possible that it would be the one emotion that doesn't disappear. And it doesn't disappear, huh? Alright, I'll give it a look then. Sad never disappears for you. And the rest... Yeah. Sad never disappears on this one. It always stays the same. I found it. Found the one emotion you're truly feeling. What? In the middle of that chaotic storm, I saw one emotion that never disappeared. We talked about the moon rock. I felt like fear that wouldn't fade. Fear, huh? A fear that man with hardly any emotions feels, huh? As a response to that moon rock. Detective Fulbright, I assume you feel fear concerning the moon rock because... You lost it. You lost the precious moon rock you went to so much trouble to get, didn't you? That frustrating turned into fear in your heart. It's so frustrating, I can't stand it. I'm not so sure a man who can make that 20-foot leap would feel fear about that. Yeah, I guess you're right. On the topic of what a spy might fear and come up with the most in our discussions earlier. Because your identity will be revealed because of the moon rock? Of course. That's it. Enough, Fulbright. Just tell us the Phantom's true identity. No, he's very careful to hide it. It's top secret information for all kinds of corporations and countries. So there's a number of organizations that want him dead. If people believe died to the Phantom, or I could be killed on the spot. Well, I mean, even now. There are assassins lurking nearby. This case is about the Phantom after all. Detective Fulbright, I think I know why you feel afraid. You're afraid the moon rock will somehow reveal your identity. If his identity were revealed, he would be killed immediately. That's certainly enough to make even the Phantom feel afraid. Me? Afraid? I don't know what you're talking about. So there really is something with the moon rock that would reveal his identity. Apparently so. Wait a minute. Maybe the Phantom didn't so much steal the moon rock, but more like he had to take it with him. Is there something on it that reveals his true identity? Hey! Hey! No! Where do you think you're going? Me? I'm not going anywhere. Is it just me, or was he going to use that weird watch thing to try and get away? How many more of those toys does he have? And where can I get myself some? Detective Fulbright, you answer honestly to this court right now. Why do you feel fear in connection with the moon rock? In justice we trust, not emotions, Mr. Lawyer. Evidence is everything. I'm the Phantom because I'm afraid. Don't make me laugh. Ah! What was that just now? Most human beings have hearts and experience emotions. Sometimes analyzing a case from the psychological perspective is the best way to find the truth. It was just a waste of time. All your efforts at analysis serve no purpose. And now in this dark age of the law, nobody would believe your claim that it's effective. Whenever evidence is fabricated, do you truly expect feelings to be accepted as proof? And where exactly is your proof that I fear the moon rock anyway? Well, I admit I don't have any conventional proof. I still examine a person's heart has its merits. Oh, really? Then why don't you listen carefully with those special ears of yours? Listen to the voices of the hearts of the people in the gallery. All I hear is distrust. As you can see, the people are on my side. Because all they see is a strange little girl using a weird little machine. But it's not like I use analytic psychology to falsely accuse people. Uh-oh, he's got Athena doubting herself. The sex psychology has breathed new life into the courtroom. It's freed the hearts of many witnesses and has been key in getting to the truth. What nonsense. Your Honor, the defense's claim is a false one. I don't feel any kind of fear when it comes to the moon rock. I see. Very well. I'll give the opinion of this court. In trial, I don't feel that a person's emotions are quite as compelling as actual evidences. But, Your Honor... Hee ho ho! There, you see, no one believes you and your trumped-up charges. However, I do believe Miss Sykes' analysis can contribute to making the truth clear. I've seen her truth this firsthand several times already. Slowly you jest. Does this just mean... you accept my findings in this trial, Your Honor? Yes, I believe your claim, Miss Sykes. I think there is merit in examining why the witness feels fear in regard to the moon rock. That is the court's opinion on this matter. And that's a win for me. No, win for the analytical psychology. Now, Mr. Phantom, you'll tell us this court the reason for your fear. Analytical psychology. My fears. Fine. I'll tell you, Pressy, how those abstract things can't be considered evidence. Hee hee, ho ho, ha 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 ha. My fear of the moon rock. Felt fear when I thought about the moon rock because it reminded me of the Phantom. Yes, I'm very afraid of him because he took my family hostage. What reason would the Phantom have to be afraid of the moon rock? None at all. The very fact that I'm afraid of the moon rock means I'm not him. In fact, I'm on the side of justice. And there you have it. And you see why I'm afraid of the moon rock. Sure, you sound convincing enough. But so does any two-bit con artist that's all noticing in the absence of evidence. The Phantom is like the mist, no flesh, no bones. My sword alone cannot cut it, right, Dono? With the deductive reasoning and the body of evidence before us, let us send this miserable Phantom fellow to the other world together. You and I, Prosecutor Blackwell. We have a duty to bring the Phantom down and restore the people's faith in the courts. Indeed, by coming for Athena, I allowed the Phantom to escape. As a prosecutor, I gave birth to the people's mistrust with my own murder conviction. I bear part of the responsibility as well. I'm being suspected of forging evidence and losing my attorney's badge as a result. Two of us and the Phantom were at the beginning of the dark age of the law. And it is also our burden to cut away the foul spectre we created, is it not? So all that remains is the righteousness of the courts and the faith of the people. Hee hee ho ho ha 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 ha. Trust, understanding, ha! Fragile ideals of the masses who are controlled by emotion. Humans can't truly trust each other, which is exactly why the illusion of trust is so enticing.
Objection!
Once the people overcome their misgivings, that's where the real trust is to be found. Free to believe what you want, but trust like that is stronger than you and your lies, always. My fear of the moon rock.
Hold it!
Can't think of a single reason the Phantom might be afraid of the rock. Not the Phantom was even supposed to have any feelings. How can someone like me with my wealth of emotions be expected to understand the guy? The Phantom, person with very few emotions, might be afraid of something really big, like his cover getting bone big. I'm willing to bet that moon rock has something to do with his identity, but what? Maybe the Phantom's fingerprints are on the rock. Fingerprints can be wiped off. Maybe he wanted the rock so badly, leave Judah and left his DNA. We're dealing with a spy here, Athena, not a slob. True. But maybe the DNA part isn't too far off. Huh? Something unexpected happened to him during the incident 7 years ago. I just know there's something that can show why the Phantom is afraid of the moon rock. I'll do with my testimony while you're pondering then, if you don't mind. can't think of a single reason the Phantom might be afraid of the rock. But the Phantom wasn't even supposed to have any feelings. How can someone like me with my wealth of emotions... Oh, I did this one already. I did this one already, on accident. You got his DNA on it. Could the... That would make sense. If he got DNA on the capsule, or on the rock that went into the capsule, and it's been in space for 7 years...
Objection!
Okay, that wasn't it. It's not contradictory. I think I'm maybe too far ahead. Oh no, penalty. What's on the right statement, right? Yeah, it was. Let's just start with the first one. Well, I reminded you of the Phantom. Don't make me laugh. You are the Phantom. Emmett is everything in the court of law. Or did you forget? I was forced to testify over a silly thing like feelings. But those tactics won't work from here on out. You need real evidence. Hate to admit it, he's right.
Hold it!
Your family, like proving your family specifically. Or I don't know, like maybe my lover, for example. For example, maybe we need a more concrete interest than that. Maybe my mother, my son, oh my daughter. Maybe it was all of them. I'm so sad and worried. I missed him so much. He's obviously lying. Look how upset I am. Is any wonder I followed the Phantom's orders?
Hold it!
How afraid are you exactly? I'm so scared I start to shake even when I see the moon in the sky. You shake when you see Miss Sykes' earring. Well, to be honest, it's the very first time I met Miss Sykes. I felt more than a little frightened of her. I guess some people are just inspired that much fear in others. Mr. Ray, you're thinking something mean-spirited and rude, weren't you? Of course not. Must be for mind-reading defenses. And do you understand? The very fact I'm afraid of the moon rock proves that you're on the side of justice.
Hold it!
After all that you've done, how dare you speak the word justice? Ain't justice we trust. I'll say as much as I want and with absolute confidence. Whatever I say is just and is just. That's just how it works in the dark age of the law. You won't get the best of me with that twisted argument of his. I'll find a way to get him right where I want him. Detective Fulbright, or rather, the Phantom, feels fear in regard to the moon rock. Probably has something to do with being afraid that his true identity will be revealed. Alright, so that's why the Phantom had to take the moon rock with him 7 years ago. In that case, we had something to show the real cause of Fulbright's fear. I'd be able to expose his true identity. Why would you be afraid? Now that's the later one. Maybe the Hat One exhibit? No. It does have the picture of the moon rock in it. Do I not have the picture? The utility knife, maybe. Maybe.
Objection!
Dr. Fulbright, I assume you know what this is. Of course, that's a knife the Phantom used to kill Clay Tehran. That's right, and the exact same type of knife Miss Sykes used 7 years ago when she stabbed the Phantom's hand. Yes, that was discussed earlier, as I recall. He dodged at first, so I only got his clothes. But I tried again. This time you got him, didn't you? I did. I remember it clearly now. The knife went into the back of his hand. Miss Lexton said she remembers the culprit bleeding. It's my theory that the culprit's blood got on the moon rock. He was afraid that the blood was, if analyzed, his true identity would be revealed. That explains why the Phantom had to remove the moon rock from this crime scene. I mean, if we run the analysis now, we'd know who the Phantom is. Yes, I suppose so. Unfortunately, the moon rock in question is missing. That may be so, but I'm certain I explain what happened to it in great detail. You can. Of course. Not. You don't actually expect us to believe that, do you? Because you don't fool me. Ah! What this court needs is the bully-free zone. Ah, the impetus sort of beguiling bluff is the edge without compare. Come now, read it with me. Show us just how finely cut cuts. Oh, this is an outrage. Oh, I mean, this is an outrage! Ah! Go on, Rictono. Let's start with something that's been bothering me for a while. Now, the culprit supposedly moved the moon rock from the lab. In this photo of him, it's nowhere to be seen. Oh, you're right. But here's something to consider. What if the Phantom hid the moon rock somewhere at the scene of the crime? Good thinking, boss. The security was super tight with the space center back then. And all that in spite of the space center having very strict security in those days. All personnel effects were examined thoroughly, coming or going. You couldn't even smuggle a withered old leaf to those checkpoints. Does this mean the moon rock is still somewhere in the space center? And just as we trust, I believe that's impossible. And why is that? Visitor was searched from top to bottom. Especially the lab. But moon rock was never found. Ah, how could I forget about that? A sad but true fact. We have no grasp of how it was done. But the fact that made the moon rock vanish into the ether. There's no way it just disappeared. Watching evidence tells us otherwise. Phantom didn't have the moon rock on him when he left the lab. Yet, a thorough police search didn't turn up anything. It never turned up in the 7 years after that either. Phantom made the rock disappear without physically moving him himself. But how? There must have been a way. Think, Phoenix, think. How did the moon rock vanish from the robotics lab? So can you not show what happened to the moon rock, Mr. Wright? Yes, I can, Your Honor. What? Oops, sorry, I mean... What? In that case, let's have your answer, Mr. Wright. How did the Phantom make the moon rock disappear from the crime scene? He put it in the Hope capsule.
Take that!
That's the Hope capsule, right? We went up with the Hat 1 rocket. He couldn't carry the rock out, but he couldn't leave it in the center to be found either. There's only one safe place to stash it. The Hope 1 capsule was there in the lab that day. Yes, and the team must have loaded onto the Hope space probe eventually. But if that's what happened, the moon rock wouldn't have been launched up into space along with the rocket. Preposterous! That would mean that for these past 7 years, the moon rock was... Exactly. The Phantom got rid of the moon rock in the most cosmic way he knew how. It was out there in the depths of space. Aboard the Hope space probe. What? Order in the court. I understand now. The villain's original scheme was to sabotage that one anyway. The villain used his primary objective to completely kill 2 birds with 1 stone. That's right, he planned for the moon rock to be turned into cosmic dust out in space, thereby destroying the one piece of evidence that could reveal his true identity. But Mr. Starbuck and the others followed the Phantom's plot. The Hope Space Probe sailed off safely in its mission and returned 7 years later. The capsule in tow. We analyzed the point on the moon rock. It should make one thing crystal clear. That you were the Phantom all along. Detective Fulbright. So we killed Clay just so we can get to the moon rock back. I believe so. The original assignment may have been sabotaged with Hat too, but at the same time, he also had to retrieve the evidence of his crime 7 years ago. That's why he went to the boarding lounge and attacked Clay as he made his escape out of the rock with the capsule. But in the end, it was all he could do was just escape himself, so he didn't get the capsule. Clay must have done everything he could to stop Fulbright. Belonging to that capsule for all he was worth until his very last breath. This is so funny, make me laugh, you really do. Oh, he's totally had a whack now. It's game over for you, Detective Fulbright. Why just admit it all now? There's nothing to admit. I'm Bobby Fulbright, undercover investigator, I tell you. Not the Phantom. The Phantom of Rock is no one of his schemes, a trap. No, I'm not sure what to think. Once the Phantom is a spy worth his salt, the trap is not out of the question.
Objection!
In that case, you say anything's a trap. Hee hee ho ho ha ha ha! That makes a trap a trap. I've been framed and I'm taking the blame for the Phantom. Your Honor, I believe further investigation is in order.
Silence.
Further investigation. More like plotting your escape. But no more. I'll bring you to justice myself if I must. Here and now. This is the time to show you just what I'm really capable of. Die, Simon Blackwell. Hey, you guys aren't really... Looks like I made it just in time. Edgeworth, I have good news for you, Mr. Wright. I've uncovered some very crucial facts. Did you find something out about the Phantom's true identity? You might say that. I started by looking into the first people in the scene 7 years ago. All 3, an employee and 2 officers, were registered in the Herbach's recognition systems. But none of them looked like the least bit like Detective Fulbright. That's not good. There's more. I've yet to share my most important finding. Mr. Wright, Prosecutor Blackwell, just brace yourselves. Uh-oh. The man you see there before you, Bobby Fulbright, is already long dead. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? An unidentified body that was found a year ago has not been proven to possess Bobby Fulbright's fingerprints. Does this mean... Yes, the man there is an imposter pretending to be Bobby Fulbright. An imposter? This man... Who in the world is he? Enough of your trickery. If you not reveal yourself to us, then I shall do it for you. Oh, you... What the? No! His face! Ah, look what you did to my mask. Mask? What is the meaning of this, witness? Okay, you got me. I guess I have to show you who I really am now. What? What? Wait, but that's... Hey, Apollo, yep, it's me, Solomon Starbuck. Mr. Starbuck, but that can't be right. You can't really be the Phantom, can you?
Silence.
Of course not. The real Starbuck was aboard the Hat One, which was set to be destroyed. Yeah, this is just another mask. I mean, did I tell you? I'm an undercover investigator. I can change the videos at will. I can be what I want.
Objection!
Not so fast. I have the Phantom Psych profile right here. We apply our Psych profile on you and compare the results to prove that you're the Phantom. Time for me to show you the real meaning of the phrase, the end justifies the means. That voice, those words. Oh, it's Professor Beans. I cannot accept such evidence here, Miss Sykes. Prosecutor Means. This mask? I'll take what I want by any means necessary. No, give me that evidence. Huh? Oh, he grabbed it. Now take out the trash. Permanently. Hey, how could you? How do you see now how powerful the end justifies the means can really be?
Silence.
How pathetic. You can even speak without wearing another man's face. Ah, but that's the life of an undercover agent for you. My real face has no meaning or value to me at all. Or it is really the case that you don't even know who you really are anymore. What you must see when you look in the mirror, Mr. Phantom, not an awful lot, I'd wager. Aren't you just a master of psychology? Aren't you the master of psychology, Black Pill? That's right. I don't know who I am. I'm always living as someone else for my assignments. I don't remember what my face looks like. Or even what my personality was like. My face, memories, personality, beliefs, emotions, and soul. I left them all behind. I have no self. I am no one. I'm nothing but an endless abyss. What's with this guy? Is he even still human? Now we resume with your lesson, Professor Wright. Oh, huh? Vivi made this argument earlier. If you were to analyze the blood on the moon rock, you could prove that I am the Phantom. I believe there was blood on the moon rock in that capsule. Let me know you aren't even Bobby Fulbright. Your claims of a Phantom trap won't work anymore. I wanted to bring this moon rock in. The decisive evidence from the Hope capsule. And maybe I'll do just that. Get ready, because the Hope capsule is about to seal your... fudge. It's the courtroom bombing from the other day. The capsule was there in the courtroom's event. It was blown to smithereens. Looks like you have finally caught on. Full backs for the defense effort. But what a shame your hope was lost in the courtroom explosion. That's the real reason this courtroom was blown up. It's all for the Phantom to destroy that one piece of evidence. I can't believe it. Have we really reached the dead end after coming all this way? Is the only evidence we have on this guy been destroyed? I thought you continued to call me the Phantom. As I've said all along, I'm just a nameless undercover agent.
Objection!
The defense will continue to assert that you are the Phantom. Furthermore, we have proof. Or at least a prayer. I'm afraid that won't do, Mr. Wright. At least put some weight behind your swing, right, Dono? I know, I'm trying. There's only one thing that can unmask this menace, the moon rock. That was blown to bits in the courtroom bombing. Yet, it's really gone without a trace. What if some tiny part, small fragment still exists? Yes, so you can see the stolen moon rock there, too. That strange black and yellow thing on the right side of the picture. The left side, whatever, fuck directions. Well, Mr. Ray, let's see your proof. What evidence will finally prove the Phantom's identity? Well, we're talking about the bombing. We have the bomb, and we have, pictures of the insides. And there's a particularly interesting little rock right there. Interesting. The bomb.
Take that!
Isn't that the bomb that blew up the courtroom? And the moon rock along with it? You're saying this will reveal the Phantom's identity? Yes, Your Honor. Put your attention on this photo taken after the bombing, specifically right here. This right here.
Take that!
Please take a look at this newspaper article. It's all about the hat one. Now please note the strange black and yellow rock there on the left. That's the moon rock. And when we look at this photo of the bomb fragments, see how there's a rock-like object with the same coloration? Oh my, yes I see it. It seemed the moon rock was very much more durable than the Phantom thought. Take a look at the fragments that the police found. We'll likely find one with blood. DNA testing on that blood will prove the witness is indeed the Phantom. Unbelievable. But that's impossible. I'm surprised to be sure. That's one bloody tough rock. Let's have the fragments tested right away. Oh, and you'll be having a DNA test too. Fool, right? But I've contacted the police department immediately in order to testing. Monsieur Blackwell, what did the test results show? There's a rock fragment that had blood on it appeared to be 7 years old. DNA testing revealed. Well, I'm sure you know who what it revealed. They confirmed this witness's blood, didn't they? There's no use in trying to talk your way out of it anymore. Admit it, you are the Phantom.
Objection!
What? Huh? Mr. Wright, did you just raise an objection to yourself? No, I didn't say a word. That was my objection, Apollo. Huh? Why? It's a pretty good objection, too, don't you think? Now he's me. Oh, do you have an objection or not, Mr. Wright? Huh? No, not really, Your Honor. No, not you, Mr. Wright. I mean, the witness, Mr. Wright. Could this Trump get any more insane? Mr. Wright, this is a fragment of this fragment of rock in the photograph, and those just like it. I can be sure they're pieces of the same moon rock that was at the robotics lab. Care to explain what you mean? Well, there may have been a rock or two in the courtroom that had my blood on it. But how do you know they're not just rocks? You can't prove they're the moon rock, right?
Objection!
Don't be absurd. Let's compare the fragment with the rock in the newspaper article. And we can see they're the same. They have the same exact coloration.
Objection!
But maybe some of the other rock with the same coloration happened to be in the courtroom. It's not like a rock's unique appearance just happened to be here. But you can't deny it's a possibility.
Objection!
Your blood's found on one of the fragments. Apollo, there's nothing suspicious about my blood being on a piece of rock. And why not? I know it sounds like an excuse, but several years ago, I tripped and fell in this very courtroom and was hurt pretty badly. That's all my blood found its way onto the piece of rubble. Even realize how ridiculous that sounds. And yet, I suppose it's not completely out of the question. I see you're starting to sweat, Mr. Wright. At the worst of times, there were lawyers at the force their biggest smiles. You're the last person I want to hear that from. Well, why don't we get those fragments analyzed? You can ask the expert to verify they were rock from the robotics lab or not. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that just isn't going to be possible. And why not? In order to prove that the fragments are from what you say they are from, you need a sample of the moon rock from 7 years ago to compare it with. But that moon rock doesn't exist anymore, and there's no sample data left either. So you see, short of going back in time, there's no way to prove if any of the fragments are from that moon rock. Oh, no. Just really no way to prove it. Are you finally ready to throw in the towel?
Objection!
So the moon rock doesn't exist anymore, huh? That's right. It was such a valuable rock, too. A shame, really. But it's lost to us forever. It's not completely lost. There's another piece of it, right here by our side. A shining fragment of hope that can turn everything around. Find a piece of evidence to put this phantom away for good. The fence has a piece of evidence that completely contradicts your claim. You've what now? A final fragment of hope that was passed down with great love and care. We do. We do, even if the person holding it hasn't realized it yet. This is true, Mr. Wright. Pay no attention to him, Your Honor. He's bluffing as usual. I wonder if you'll be able to force your biggest smile when you see what I've got. Try me. Piece of evidence that shows the original moon rock isn't completely lost is this. Athena has an earring with the moon rock in it. By just about the only things my mother left me with her widget. And this earring. Maybe she did love me in her own way. Athena, you may not know it, but your mother left with you a very important piece of evidence. She did. You're bluffing. You don't have anything of the kind. But we do. Evidence will finally corner you. Because we have a moon rock of our own. Yeah. Oh! You mean... Exactly. A gift Dr. Sykes left her daughter. An item Athena has cherished and worn all these years. Just as Miss Dr. Sykes may seem to her daughter, that fragment of her love will shake off the darkness of the past and give us all the hope for the future. This is the fancy sample of the moon rock.
Take that!
That's your sample. The earring that Miss Sykes always wears was made from that original moon rock. What? All this time? It was right here all along! No. It can't be. The composition of the bombed fragments in the earring are found to be a match. Then it'll prove beyond a shadow of a doubt the rich origin of the fragment in this photo. Hence, the test results show that the blood on the fragment was yours. This means that the identity you tried so hard to hide will finally be revealed. The identity I tried to hide. I don't have an identity to hide. I didn't have Athena's ears, but now, even I can hear the fear in your voice. Fear? I don't feel fear. I left all my emotions behind years ago.
Objection!
Every human being feels fear. You simply can't face the emotion inside you. You can't face them because you have nothing. No love, no trust. I suppose you do. I didn't have anybody to support me at first either. I couldn't face the fear inside me. I couldn't get over the trauma of my past. Like I said, I don't feel fear.
Objection!
You're just a coward for running away from yourself. I had my doubts about Miss Sykes. I felt like I would collapse under the weight. I wanted to trust her. I knew I could trust Mr. Wright to uncover the truth. That's why I was able to face my suspicions without hesitation. Running away from myself. I'm not gonna run away from myself. When there's nothing inside. Nothing at all.
Objection!
I know it's hard for someone who isn't willing to trust others you are to understand. But people have emotions. Just a fact of life. And so people can be weak at times. But that's exactly why people need to trust one another. So they can gain that strength to face themselves when things are at their bleakest. Without trust in others, how can you ever hope to face your fears? The fear inside of me. Is this... No. Oh, you don't look good. I'm afraid, I'm scared. I feel fear. You cannot run yourself. Remove that mask and release your emotions. Confront your guilt head on. With your own true face. My own true face. No, please don't. I know you're here. Where are you? See, I haven't revealed anything yet. Honest. My own true face. I don't have one. My face, my face, my face. Is this my face? Is it? Is it? No, that's not it. No! This isn't me either! Is this me? Which one is my face? What am I? Who am I? A sniper attack in this very courtroom. It chills me to my bones. But the police are doing everything they can to track down the sniper as we speak. Let's go to Blackpool. How's Detective Fulbright, his imposter doing? He's a lucky fellow. The bullet didn't hit any vital organs. He appears to be in no danger of dying. Oh, that was fortunate for all of us. Now let's have that final piece of evidence Wright Donald submitted his in. Composition of Miss Sykes' earring and the fragment with the blood on it match. We can now be certain that it is a fragment of the moon rock in question. The murders and the bombing of the Space Center, both past and present. The bombing of the courtroom number 4 and all of his other crimes as numerous as the stars. Under suspicion of all of these things, the spy knows the Phantom has been incarcerated. The prosecutor's office is now responsible for his well-being. There's still a myriad of things we wish him to tell us about after all. Thank you, Prosecutor Blackpool. Well, it's time to finally bring this trial to an end. But before I do, will the defendant please return to her proper place? Yes, Your Honor. Now then, this court finds the defendant, Athena Sykes, not guilty. Court is adjourned. December 20th, 9:12 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 5. Congratulations, Mr. Nick. Thank you, Pearls, and thank you for being there for Athena. It's the least I could do. But Athena was great, wasn't she? She was so strong throughout the whole trial. Daddy, I'm so glad to see you. Juicy, are you alright? Are you hurt? I'm fine, Daddy. I was doing my tricks for the other hostages to keep our spirits up. That's so juicy for you. I'm really glad to see you're safe. Edgeworth? Right, you fully owe you another debt of gratitude. Edgeworth? Who would have caught him if it weren't for all of you? Aw, come on, Edgeworth. What are you talking about? You're the ones who've been tracking the Phantom all this time. Plus, you're the one who gave Blackpool permission to serve as prosecutor, right? Yes, well, I knew the Phantom was somewhere nearby. Police are never trying to find him, but we never did manage to do so until this trial. Well, maybe I would have won the trial without you. It's your help as chief prosecutor that was key to the successful conclusion. Besides, it was you that saw to it I got my attorney's badge back, wasn't it? So you figured it out, did you? Yeah, getting my license back went just a little too smoothly, you know? Should have been much harder after that evidence forging scandal. I'll do a few favors. Hey, Edgeworth. Maybe we can finally bring the Dark Age of the Law to an end. And the darkest night turns to dawn eventually, and the sun will rise again. Besides, now the prosecutor Blackwell has been cleared of all charges. A great deal of mistrust towards this court system should have been swept away. You know, you could have said that with a bigger smile, Edgeworth. It won't kill you. Instead, the furrows in that brow here just keep getting deeper and deeper. Just smile more, huh? I'll think about it. Ah, the complicated love-hate relationship between lifelong rivals. Maybe more on the love side if you ask some people. Though, while I bring this up, generally that ship is not mine to sail, per se. But some of those early, you know, comebacks from Edgeworth and Phoenix earlier are kinda, you know, I think they, you know, they don't sink the ship, I'll tell you that. Anyway, all that aside, let's continue. Athena. Oh, Blackwell, hi. I'm forever in your debt. With all that trouble, even taking the bar exam while you're overseas. Well, I knew that if I didn't get your sentence overturned fast, you'd be executed. I studied and studied. I was frantic. So glad I made it in time. Just barely. But I made it. That a girl, Athena. It's good to see you finally let your tears out. Yes, as far as the skin of my teeth, thanks to you. Shame on you, Simon, for trying to throw your life away like that. It was never my intention to just throw my life away. But some things in this world are more important than your own life. Like what? I honor boundary to protect with my life. My mentor's most beloved treasure. Huh? That's some loyalty. This guy really is a samurai through and through. Well, looks like we can breathe easy now. Apollo, Athena, thank you both. Took all of us together to pull it off. You bet, boss. What a team we are, huh? It's definitely the most amazing turnabout I've ever seen. Lucky guy. Novus is the best, most capable lawyers around. Makes just right. I'm gonna work extra hard to make up for all the worry I caused. Apollo Justice is fine and ready to go. Let's hear it for the Right Anything Agency. No one's gonna try harder than me, so you better watch out, Apollo. 7 minutes free, and thanks, Mr. Right. But there's so much more other people who need our help. You're right. I'm gonna need you both to help them. Still have a long way to go. Get ready, you two. Win a major victory, but the war is far from over. There's still people out there suffering under false charges who need defending. We've got a lot of work ahead of us. We ever hope to fully bring the Dark Age of the Law to a close. Hey, I know one thing we have to do. We have to celebrate. The bowl of piping hot noodles. Huh? Nothing like a bowl of Eldoon's noodles after a trial, or all on Mr. Wright's tab. That's how it works at the Wright Anything Agency. Right, Mr. Wright? Huh? Huh? As a boss, it's your duty to express gratitude to your people for their great work. In that case, allow me to join in the festivities. I would greatly welcome a bowl of noodles. Huh? 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 I have an idea, Daddy. Why don't you just invite everybody involved with the case? More the merrier, right? Oh, Mr. Nick, look how far you've come. I knew you'd grow up to be such a generous gentleman. Guys? Under these circumstances, there's only one thing I can say. If I get to join in. Hey, no fair! I want to say it too! Okay. Here we go. Objection!
Objection!
I was trying to think of something nice I could do for Polly now that he's back. So I decided to go around and get a bunch of jobs for him to do. Find a lost cat, install an air conditioner, give a computer lesson, find a lost item. You think I should have found him a few legal cases? No, that's okay. This is the Wright Anything Agency, after all. Yeah, they do anything. Dana and Apollo were so wonderful in court. I better study as much as I can if I want to be a judge someday. My grandma says eat lots of peppers and they're not your passion. Oh, but I should figure out which to grow. Green peppers or yellow peppers. Alright, maybe I should go with hot as the sun red peppers instead. Maybe you should. The Dark Age of the Law, you say? Tisk, how naive. Don't you know it's sometimes necessary to get a guilty verdict by any means possible? What? They're putting me under investigation. The chief prosecutor wants to see me. Eek! We must debut the great Master Tenmataro. So let's go up against the Amazing Ninetales next, though. Oh, what to do? I fight to the finish with myself. Why ask Mr. Demon Lawyer to be the Amazing Ninetales too? It's not a bad idea. I bet he'd be all for it. So right now I admit that this phone was my little friend. Do you need to be masked if everybody knows that what you did? Would you believe it? I'm out in a Ninetales veil now. Pretty impressive, eh? I took over to rescue me for the good of my beloved village. So what do you say? Would you like to make a little donation to help us out? Hey, what do you think you're doing sneaking into the manor? Ah, the jig's up. Better make a run for it. I thought I wanted to be an artist, but after seeing the amazing job Athena did, I started becoming genuinely interested in law, so now I'm studying for the bar exam. I'm gonna prosecute Athena someday. You'll see. I'm studying my butts off too, but not for the bar exam. I'm gonna pass the Themis Legal's enter exam on my own merit this time. The score of 100 points, of course. Hugh, Juniper, I'll keep the VOD forever! I'd release sweet boxes for all three of them, but they won't wear them. Is it because I want to be a legal journalist instead of a lawyer or a judge? But anyway, thanks to the trial, the scope for its future is bright as it can be. This. Now let's see what the fresh blood had to say in the new school paper. Editor cried so hard at graduation rehearsal, her cardboard box got soggy. One night's only reunion concert, I still remember that evening of passion. President of the student council sang like no high school student I've ever heard. And she's a judge in her own court someday. I'd like to have a jam session with her. Be the coolest trial ever, Jean. I'm going to hear it now. I gave this place a good cleaning from top to bottom, but it's already a mess again. I guess the only thing I can do now is clean up the attitudes of the people in this office. Mystic Maya due to come here once her training is over, till they must be done. When is that, Pearls? Who read these dreams for outer space will never die. In fact, planning for the Hat 3 rocket has already officially begun. Look upon me, people of this great nation, and witness the glory of your cosmos. What do you... Oh, Director, yes. Rocket preparations are fully complete. Yes. Leave everything to me. Let's send the Director, Yuri Cosmos. He got demoted. But it serves him right. He lied at a trial. He shouldn't do that. It's illegal. I'm going to the moon in the new rocket. If Athena or Mommy Mentis come to the moon, I'd love to show them around. But which is more interesting? Montes Pendientes or I didn't read that. You think like either one? Yay, hooray! I wonder how Miss Aurora is doing. I'd rather be near Miss Aurora than on the moon. Oh, Miss Aurora, I just want you to use me again like you used to. Can a robot be dependent? I think maybe he is. I don't know. Ready for lunch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off! I'm going to the moon for real this time. For me and for Clay. Thanks to my lawyers, I know I should never give up. But I'm worried. You can't just breathe in space, and in fact it's cold as heck. Oh man, now I'm getting really nervous. No, I'm not employed here. I simply came to request our services in defense of my sister. But no one's around, and I've been kept waiting for a long time. And what sort of case brings you here? Oh, your father was accused, and you wish to Athena to defend him. Then perhaps you and I shall meet in a courtroom in the near future. Look forward to your next month's salary assessment. Ickfried, please forgive me! Blackwell's acquittal has brought all manner of ills the prosecutor was to light. It seems solving the case has thawed the chill of winter into the warmth of spring. No right to another debt of gratitude. It'll pay him one day. You can trust in that. And now the proper credits. Yes, anyway, hello. So, what I've decided. This is the finale, but if you know anything about this game, you know there's a DLC case. So, I'm going to finale here, because I want to let the ending have its, mystique and such. So this is the finale, but we will do the DLC case as extra or bonus or just DLC case. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna title these things, but yes, I'm still doing that. So this is the finale, but don't fret, I'm still doing the DLC case. Other people did it like in the middle, but I didn't do that, so we'll do it at the end. Who cares? I thought they were done, so I was shutting up. But yeah, anyway. Well, okay, maybe we're almost done. Or are you just leading up? No, you're just building up. Alright, never mind. Anyway, since this is the finale, quote, and big air quotes, yes, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I had a lot of fun replaying this again. If you liked the videos, you can do all the YouTube things. that you can do. You can like them. You can share it to your friends. You can like it, or I said like her. You can like it. Don't like it twice, because I think that will turn off the like. I don't know. You can like it one time, just the one. You can share it with your friends and/or strangers. You can give me a comment and be like, "Hey, it was good," or "Hey, your voices all sound the same. What the heck?" That's fine too. I know. I'm aware. You can tell me that if you like. The newest YouTube thing that I don't care about, and I'm just gonna make a joke out of it. Make sure you subscribe, guys, because 100% of you aren't subscribed to watch these videos. I mean, that's not actually 100% accurate, but like, it's close enough, right? I mean, come on. Anyway, yeah, you do all the YouTube stuff. Are you done yet? Ooh, typefaces, nice. That's what I love to hear about.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be
T-minus
fine.
15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. Mr. Starbuck!
You'll be fine. Just believe in yourself.
The moon's closer than you think!
Thanks, guys. I wouldn't have made it back into space if it wasn't for you.
All right!
Through the years, I've seen as much joy as heartache, honesty as deceit. But just as Mr. Starbuck was able to escape the harsh pull of his fears and despair, I believe that hope and friendship can lift us up towards a brighter tomorrow. End. Fuck off. Okay. Yes. I think I'm gonna title this the finale. Thinking about it, I kind of want to not do that, but anyway, yes. Next time, we'll come back for the special DLC episode, Turnabout Reclaimed. So, until next time. Or, yes, until next time, I mean, I said everything I already say. So yes, but overall, if you don't want to watch that one, thank you for watching. You can do the YouTube things if you want, or don't. It's whatever. But yes, you can join me next time for this DLC case, or you could not. That's fine too. Anyway, goodbye.